Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ball game.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. Complete. Smith has it. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to the 30. They get only 4 that time, as that leads us to a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They will be led out by a 2nd-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air, receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game, too. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. And it's a clinic that we're seeing put on here so far. 6 for 6 first drive of the game for him passing.
You know I'm a defensive guy, and while I'm admiring the heck out of what they're doing, throwing the ball around, all I keep thinking is this is where the quarterback has to go down. You've got to ruffle his timing, change things up, get some more pressure on him, because right now he's way too comfortable in throwing the ball downfield.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Check 3. Pilot, 64, weak. Ready.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack him because right now they probably have...
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
He's got his man on the crossing route. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Locke going to bring the offense up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, it was Travarius Moore. Now they try the right side here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Throwing on first down is Locke. Throwing right, and that's complete. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Locke. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. In for the score. And the Broncos push further out in front.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as a wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Cook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Off play action. Lawrence under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They're already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield, get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. On third down, Lawrence. The open man is Smith. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 32-yard line.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's second and 10 now from about the 32. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
That was a really nice run there to bring up third and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
From the gun on third down, Lawrence. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. From the gun, Lawrence. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
So they were stopped trying to run the ball on first down. Now they take a sack on second down. The offensive coordinator's got to find a way to flip the script on the defensive coordinator because right now the defense has the advantage.
So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them, and they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. Clock now, 11 for 11. Perfect in this opening half. It's first and 10. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Go! 70, Indy.
They fake the handoff. Now Locke. He's going to look deep down the field. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Broncos push further out in front. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
This is the tight end fan. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Lock now. Over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Lock now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Locke to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A final shot before half for Locke. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. Locke and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the 3rd quarter here on the ground. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke. Wide open receiver complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 12-yard line. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Danielle Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Paris Campbell, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good. And they open the lead up now to 25. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
60 Pittsburgh. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Off the play fake. Lawrence. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but it's going to be second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Wrap it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
On the ground, it's Cook. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On second down, it's Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 23 yards on the play. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. McManus now for the extra point. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
5 plays there on that drive. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Throwing on first down, Lawrence. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Cortland Sutton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done.
Lawrence's pass complete to Cortland Sutton. Touchdown, Minnesota.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point forthcoming. And he gets it to go to make this a 35-10 score now. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different...
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bradley Chubb in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
That's it, baby.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 15. They'll keep it on the ground. Cook. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 yards there, as that'll take us to 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense up the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
And this is caught. He hits more. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Now this throw caught left side, and he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And this one complete to Smith. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. From the gun, Lawrence. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Trying the power game with Ham. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the number 2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball game and say, I don't care that they're number 2. Let's go ahead and show them that we can run the ball.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And his kick is indeed good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Broncos are going to get the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here we go. 18 Gators. Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
And they give this time to the tailback. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings 36. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead him to 4th down.
That's it, baby.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready, ready.
And they take a knee.
On the keeper. A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 33-yard line.
Here we go. 10-2 stop. Let's go.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
On the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
So 1st and 2nd down went the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.